Are we ready?
Sorry.
Oh my goodness, what a big cough. Are you okay? Hi everyone, welcome to Idiot. It's my podcast. I made it up all by myself. The theme of it is, no idea. I don't know what we're doing here. I never do. I never do. But here you are. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe because it helps keep me going. We're here with my mother. I came out of her vagina. Let's think about that for a second. I want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about my mom's.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
that.
it is cool though that I was at one point inside of you.
Yes, you were.
And then I just came on out. And
No,
here I
you
am.
didn't just come on out. There was a little struggle there.
Really?
Yes.
I was difficult. So my mom had 3 daughters, has 3 daughters.
I do.
And first one, easy labor. Second one, fairly easy. And then me.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
So first one, 2 hours and 6.5 weeks early.
Wow.
Second one, 6 hours and 4 weeks early.
Okay.
You, on time, didn't want to come out. Just, it was like 18, 19 hours until finally they were losing your heart rate. Mm-hmm. Your heart, yeah. So they were quite aggressive about you just coming out. So just coming out, I don't think you qualify for. I love you dearly and I wouldn't have you any other way, but you were difficult even then.
Wow. No, please. You're our laugh track. So keep laughing, Chris. Wait, I was difficult even then. Okay, but what my heart rate was? What was wrong with my heart rate?
We were losing.
Did they pull me out?
Yes.
With what?
With a vacuum. No, they weren't doing vacuums. They were still doing forceps.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like the salad tongs?
Yeah, just like salad tongs. You were pulled out with salad tongs.
For real?
Yes. For real.
They yanked me out?
Yes. You didn't want to come out.
I wonder why.
I don't know. And
I was probably having a good time. Honestly, I was probably having a good time.
Well, and your babies were both early.
Yes, we give birth early.
We do.
Yes.
And you just weren't having that.
I wasn't having what?
Coming out early.
Right, that's right.
You
I
had to
like
break
to be
the
on
mold.
time. That hasn't changed.
Okay. And I'm thinking it was mid to late July, hot as all get out, and you were just not coming out.
And you did it all. My mom had all 3 of us, no epidural, no anything, just totally natural.
Right, because we were crazy hippies back then.
Yeah, and my mom, when I told her I want to give birth naturally, she's like, "You're insane. Why? Why do that?"
Yeah.
And I didn't with Alfie. I caved and got the epidural, which is fine. However you give birth is absolutely fine. But I just wanted to experience what it feels like. I don't know why.
And then you learn.
Yet, if I had a third, I would probably do it naturally again.
Right.
Because I'm psychotic. I'm psychotic.
But you have the option.
Yeah.
If things aren't going well, you have the option of doing something, and there should be no judgment.
Okay.
You have to do what's best for you and best for you at the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's crazy.
Whoa.
And then, as far as you being difficult, not that this should be our theme, but you also turned out to be allergic to everything.
When I was a baby.
Yes, when you were a baby, you couldn't have any of the formulas, not soy, not Enfamil, not Similac, nothing. You just couldn't tolerate it. So you cried virtually all the time, and you always had horrid rashes. And when you were about, I know this is so interesting, right?
You were disgusting. You were a disgusting rash-filled baby.
No, I absolutely adored and loved you.
No.
Truly. But finally, our pediatrician put you on goat's milk. And that worked.
Goat's milk?
I swear.
That's all I could drink was goat's milk?
That's all you could drink was goat's milk. And your sister's getting goats.
Yes, she is.
So there we have it.
My sister lives on a farm in Oregon, and they're getting goats.
So everything
And
comes
I will
around.
be drinking their milk.
Right, just laying on the
I
ground.
am vegan, but I would suck those goats' teats
There you go.
and get that milk out.
I think you should.
Is that vegan though? No, because they're not consenting. They're not consenting.
All right, think about
Not
you.
consenting. I'm
Sorry,
not going to do that, PETA. If you're watching, it was a joke.
But think about.
I wouldn't do that. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I would not do that. I would not suck a goat's teat. Why would you say that? That's You're disgusting. What? What'd you say?
Absolutely nothing.
What?
I'll continue to be
But what were you saying?
disgusting mother in the corner. Think about yourself after you have, children, and how desperate you are to get that milk out of there.
Oh, my boobies were huge.
And painful.
Dude, I was a double D. Like, I had massive milk wagons. They were,
Yes.
and when you first have a baby, they're so engorged, they're so full of milk that like, if you don't breastfeed, they'll just squirt out of you like water guns. They don't
Dribble down.
dribble.
No.
It's full on, like if I just put a little bit of,
Yeah.
I could spray
right
you,
across
like,
the room.
strong with
Yeah.
the pressure.
So why wouldn't goats need that pressure relieved as well?
And I'm there to do that for them.
See?
You're not.
It's a humanitarian act.
Yeah.
And we are being facetious.
But goat's milk is gross. Sorry. I think any sort of milk from an animal, I don't personally, and this is just my opinion, you're entitled to disagree with me. I'm just sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you all today.
Oh my.
And what I think is that cow's milk is disgusting. And it's not meant for us. It's meant for calves! For baby cows! It's not meant for humans.
Right, and
that's
goats-
what I think, but I don't tolerate lactose. I have zero tolerance for lactose.
So what about goat's milk? Because it's made for kids.
Well, goat's milk, apparently I did tolerate it as a baby. Now that I'm older, no tolerance.
It was a joke.
Right.
Baby goats are called kids.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
I
never
got
mind.
that. I got that.
Okay.
I did get it.
Okay.
Wait, so also, goat's milk. So I could not, whatever. Okay, so then I was sick a lot, but then I stopped getting sick, right? And
Yes.
then I started eating everything in sight, like everything all the time.
Yeah. First
Just like
7
Poppy, my daughter, she's the same as me. We
First
eat
7
everything.
months, unbelievable. It was so hard for you.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, when you're the mom, there's nothing worse than not being able to fix the problem for your child.
Well, that's really frustrating because you
Yeah.
wanted to breastfeed and you couldn't breastfeed, and
Right.
that was probably what I
Yes.
needed or wanted, and the formulas were just not cutting it for me.
Right.
Which is a shame, but they did for my sisters. My sisters were fine on them.
Yes, they were.
And I
It
was
worked out
not.
fine. No. For some reason,
But I think I think a lot of formulas have dairy, and I think I'm lactose intolerant, and
Right.
that's why I had stomach aches all the time, because I was eating ice cream or whatever, or the hell
Sure.
else with dairy. And then now that I'm vegan, I don't get stomach aches anymore.
which is wonderful.
Very rare, very, very rare. I had that stomach bug
Right.
last month.
Yeah, but
I
that's-
don't even think that was food related.
Right.
That was just something gnarly. I say gnarly now because
Oh, you
I've lived
do.
in California so long.
Yeah. Well, and you dated a skateboarder.
I dated a skateboarder, this
She
pro
did.
skateboarder guy once, and he,
Mrs.
mom
Clary.
comes in and goes, "Your boyfriend just told me that my soup was banging."
He did. Mrs. Clary, your soup is banging. It's like,
And
oh,
she loves to say that.
it's
talk
like,
about that, banging.
okay. Can we talk about this? No, I mean you and the skateboarder.
He's a good guy.
I'm sure he was, but
I mean, in some ways, yeah.
I'm grateful for small things, like him going whoop
Him going what?
away.
Right.
Yeah.
What else was I going to ask you?
I think you're the interviewer.
You know,
I could be wrong.
I
but
don't like to think. Actually, you should interview me. I don't like to think of this as an interview. I like to think of it as a conversation.
Yeah.
That's literally all it is. It's
A mother and daughter chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, what we could do is I asked Instagram if they had any questions for you guys, for you.
For me.
Yeah, and so we
I
can
thought
see.
you meant Chris and I.
No, but Chris, I could ask Chris, is your daughter a lesbo? That's literally.
See, and why do I want to say, which one are you talking about?
Let's talk about this.
No.
Is your daughter a lesbo?
No, but
Can you say lesbo?
I think there are better ways to phrase it.
There's something catchy about lesbo, I gotta say. But I don't know if it's offensive at this point in 2023.
I think we should have something where we just turn the camera on Chris.
No, hold. That happened at the last podcast he did, and now he's on one. Okay, so every podcast he films for, he's just gonna end up on. That's what's gonna happen. Okay,
I'm good with
is
that.
your daughter a lesbo?
No. Could she be bi? Maybe.
Maybe. What do you mean? Maybe.
Yeah.
Why are you saying maybe?
Because I don't know for sure.
I literally told you I was.
When did you tell me that?
What do you mean, Mom? How do you not recall that conversation?
I don't know. You guys all blend.
Blend? Are we all bi? I didn't know my sisters were.
Well,
Have you had that conversation with all of us?
no.
Colleen's not bi.
No, I know that. I know that. I know that.
And Tracy, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't
Oh.
think Tracy is either. Everybody's got
Let's
their own
talk about it.
proclivities.
Okay.
I don't know that either of your sisters
I can't believe you forgot.
really want me to talk about their sex life on.
No. We
you know.
don't need to talk about their sex life.
Good, because
Let's not
Colleen would be mad.
Look, can we talk about your sex life?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a lesbo?
You know what? I don't think I ever had time to find out.
Really?
Well, I
Are you
met
attracted
Dan.
to women, or have you been attracted to women?
You know what? One of my best friends growing up is lesbian, was lesbian. She's passed away now, breast cancer. But yeah, no, we loved each other. Absolutely loved each
Really?
other. Yeah. So who knows? You know,
So I
but
got it from you, is what you're saying.
yeah, probably. It's catching. I don't know. I was, met your father at 16, and we've been together ever since. So
You didn't have time
Hard
to
to say.
explore that.
no.
But you had, I think, it's more about the feelings. Like, have you
Ever
said-
been attracted? Yeah,
Right.
Nancy and I were
And-
inseparable.
Okay. So you would say you loved her,
Yeah, absolutely.
but in a way that maybe wasn't fully platonic.
Well, very possibly, but you've also got to remember, I was raised very staunchly Catholic. And I mean, that would have been
Like
a whoa.
my grandma was convinced that gay people don't exist.
Right, she thought it was a new modern thing, that they didn't,
Oh, they didn't exist when she was growing up.
right, it was something new. She absolutely believed it.
Right.
Yeah, but then she did a lot of, practice rhythm, just like the church said, and she had 12 pregnancies in 14 years. It's like, okay, so are we,
Okay.
don't want to hear about your grandmother's sex life?
Not particularly.
Okay, we can move
Was
on.
Alice a freak in bed? Was Alice a freak in the sheets?
I have no idea. We didn't talk about that, but we did talk about rhythm and all sorts of stuff.
Rhythm during penetration? We're talking about rhythm?
No, rhythm when you could actually have sex, when it was safe
That's
that
rhythm?
you wouldn't become pregnant. Yes, and obviously did not work for her.
No.
And did it take her 14 years to figure that out? I don't know that she ever figured it out. The babies were falling out by that time.
Jesus.
So, and then she ended up having to have a total hysterectomy. So I think that's the only reason it stopped.
Wow.
Okay.
I
More
mean,
than you
that's-
ever wanted
no,
to know about your grandmother?
No. All right.
Sorry, Mom.
Why is finding true love so hard these days? Natalia asked.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with social media. I mean, your possibilities are endless.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and you always think, well, maybe there's someone a little bit not better, but more right for me. Whereas before, it was, you know, you grew up in a town, you met the people that you met, and you pretty much, you know,
Stuck with that.
yeah, it was pretty much that's what you had. Wow. So, and you guys have endless possibilities, which is why.
Well, it's not just social media, it's dating apps. So we're
Right.
like, there's social media. So like someone said this and it stuck with me, like social media shows you the most attractive people in the world. You just get to like see the
Right.
most beautiful, like unattainable, and filters and whatever else. Like it's not even real, but it just kind of messes with
Sure.
your,
Right.
I don't know if that made any sense, but
Right. No, it
it's
absolutely
not
does.
realistic and it kind of distorts your reality of whatever.
Right.
But also dating apps. I feel like I've just been watching a lot of videos around like dating culture and what it's like, and it's all changed because everyone's on apps.
Right.
And so you swipe right if you're attracted and left if you're not, and like if you both swipe right then you're a match, and then from that point you're able to talk to the person.
What do you mean talk? Just like text?
I think
Or-
so. I've never been on an app, so I actually don't know. We're the only two people in the world that have not been
Oh,
on apps. Were
Chris.
you never? Really? Okay, in the comments, talk about your dating app experiences. I'm actually very curious about this.
Right, because we have 3 virgin people here that have never been on.
Right. So, but essentially, like it's addictive. They design it. These app companies design
Yeah.
it in the same way they do slot machines.
Right.
So it's like you're constantly searching for like, or you're getting the dopamine hit.
Right.
From like, oh, I matched. They think I'm attractive. I feel validation. I like.
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting that hit. But then you're like, what if there's someone better? What if there's someone that fits my needs even more? Let me keep going. Whereas in your day, that first person, you're like, let me give this person a chance. And
Right.
then you guys decide to make that commitment.
Yes.
Whereas now it's just endless. And so you have so many people in these things called situationships.
Right, right.
So situationships, and it's like a joke at this point.
Sure.
Because nobody will actually commit.
Yeah.
They meet on the apps, they get the whole high and the spark, and then they're on to the next, and they don't commit and they won't commit.
Right, which I think is crazy.
It's
you know,
just-
I don't
it's
know
just
that it's a
what's
good
happening.
thing. Right.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe the old idea, like maybe monogamy is an outdated concept and doesn't work for, I don't know.
You know,
some people.
culturally speaking, there are cultures that have never been monogamous.
Right.
You know, and it seems to work for them, although it's usually the male that reaps most of the benefits. The female was
Because men are
always
trash. Men are
Right.
trash.
Well, no, I meant men were in power more than men are trash. I'm sure there are a few good ones out there.
It's also not, I shouldn't say it's trash. It's honestly trash, but it's also more recycling. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. It's nature, I think. Men are designed to literally, like, evolution. They just spread seed, must spread seed, and procreate.
Right. And women have the joy of actually carrying the child, so
Right.
we must nurture.
We must nurture.
Yeah.
Exactly. Once we do become intimate with someone, oftentimes we form an attachment
Or kill them.
or we murder them.
Yeah. There are species that do that. You know, immediately after that whole done with that.
What?
There are species that kill their mates as soon as they're done. It's like, okay, got what I need from you, bye-bye.
You're dead.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, like scorpions.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're in-
Scorpions.
Yeah, they just bring that stinger over and boom, in the back and all gone.
So they hit it and
Yeah.
not quit it. They hit it and murder.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty savage.
Well,
Next question.
did that even answer that question?
Why
Just
is
asking.
finding love so hard? We absolutely answered that.
Yeah,
The culture, the
I agree.
access to
Well, and I also think
too many people. We have access to too many people.
access to
Too many people.
and you're not doing it in a personal way.
Right.
You're doing it online. You're doing it
And
over
it's-
social media.
And it's so like, are they hot? How tall are they? What is the color of their eyes? Ugh. It's so shallow. You don't get to see
Yeah.
their essence,
Right.
energy.
And I think you need that. I think you need to know if there's that chemical spark
Totally.
between you, and I think you need to know if you can tolerate that person's personality or behavior.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you get, although there must be questionnaires attached to
Yeah, there's
dating
all
apps.
that. There's all that shit. Okay, next question. My son tried drugs. How did you support Laura through her early days of addiction?
Loved her, just loved her, you know, would always accept her, sent her sister out to be with her, which also broke my heart. So I wanted my children to stay like as close as possible, but that wasn't possible given what Laura wanted to do, and she knew from an early age what she wanted to do. And when her life seemed to be getting out of hand, and the only way we had to communicate that was phone calls and things like that, it seemed dark. So we put Colleen on a plane and sent her out so that Laura would have family to back her up and to try to help fix her. Although I think you've got to fix yourself ultimately, which you did.
It did help having Colleen there, and she really did try to help get me clean and away from an abusive relationship that I was in. She was there to protect me.
Right.
And she did.
Yes.
To the best of her ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was hard. Definitely hard.
Wow.
But I think all you can do is love your kids, no matter what phase they're in, and accept them, try to coax them to a better way.
Yeah, you literally called me, Laura, for every week you stay sober, I'll send you a new pair of jeans.
Bribe them. Yeah, bribery often works. I
Yeah.
always did that as a teacher in a high school. I made something homemade, whether
Write
it
this
was
down. Bribe.
whether it was
With
brownies
jeans or brownies.
or chocolate chip cookies, or, and every
Bribe
kid
them.
got a birthday cake, and all they had to do was be, semi-decent and do their work for the week.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
They would all respond.
But here's my one question about love, because I am so grateful for that unconditional love. And it's something I always say about you is like, I feel so lucky that my mom unconditionally loved me always. And never one day I woke up going like, does she love me? Is she not proud of me? Does she think I can be better or do better? No, you just fully accepted me. And I was psychotic, like as a child and even as a teenager, like you fully accepted me doing the most insane shit. I don't even want to say out loud.
Right.
The things that I did. And she just accepted me through all of it, loved me unconditionally. And that's a beautiful thing. And it's why I think it's a big reason of why I felt deserving of getting clean and staying alive and healthy, because I valued myself because you valued me.
Absolutely. And I also think it's one of the reasons you're successful.
Yes.
I believe that you can do whatever you want to do, and I've always believed that.
Yeah, you never told me I couldn't, so I always believed I could.
Yeah.
But my only question here is, with someone dealing with a child or their kid who's an addict,
Yeah.
Al-Anon, that 12-step program for friends and family of alcoholics, they have a different theory, and like that you should have, what is it?
I don't know.
Basically cut
them off.
Don't enable. Don't
Right.
enable. And in a way, you didn't enable, because I was out at 17. You weren't like you sent me money here and there. If I really was like going to be on the street, you would send me what I needed to like
Survive.
survive.
I would also send
occasionally.
you food.
And you would send me food. So like you did help me survive from time to time, but overall, I wouldn't say you necessarily enabled. It wasn't like I was living with you and getting high and using under your roof and you
Right.
were just like letting me do that. I was out on my own, sort of like, I'm gonna go hit bottom halfway across the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, but
did-
how do you feel about that, enabling?
You know, it's a hard line. For me, it would be virtually impossible to do.
Yeah.
You know, I believe you can get through to people with love
Right.
versus, and I know sometimes they call it tough love,
Yeah.
and I guess that's what some people need.
Some people do need that.
Yeah, I think we were just fortunate enough to
Yeah.
kind of love the love that we had,
Yes.
and we weren't willing to lose that, so that was more of a personal decision between the two of us.
Yeah.
You know, we never wanted to be far apart.
Yeah.
So I don't
Look
know.
at us now.
Yeah, no, we're still very close.
And we're not on a bunch of drugs.
No, no drugs.
We're not doing any sorts of drugs. We ain't snorting no things. We ain't eating no things. The only shots we're taking are lemon and ginger shots
And we've done a few vaccines here and there.
and some vaccines.
Yeah, those are good.
Next question.
Yes.
Mum, so she's British.
Okay.
Mum of five, and struggling a bit with a crazy 4-year-old. Any advice on how to be more of a gentle parent? Now, do you know what gentle parenting is?
No, there's a specific
Do
definition
you know
for
what that
gentle
is?
parenting.
Let me tell you right now.
Okay, tell me right now.
In fact, should we stop it and then start? Okay. Athletic Greens. They sponsor this podcast. Mom loves it. I love it. What is AG1, you ask? It's all your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all in one powder. A little scoop, a powder. You put it in a bottle, put some water in there, shake it up. I gotta stop doing that. Honestly, it's disgusting.
If I can interject,
Yeah.
I think it's also a wonderful Mother's Day gift.
Okay.
Because, you know, you get flowers and
Sorry.
sometimes they die.
Yes.
I think that Athletic Greens is something that's going to make you really healthy.
We've got 45
And
seconds.
it's going to be really good for you, and
Okay.
it's not going to be something that you're just going to...
athleticgreens.com/idiotpodcast. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/idiotpodcast, and you can get a 1-year free supply of immune-supporting vitamin D plus 5 free travel packs. Go get it today. Nutritional insurance, get it for Mother's Day. It's a great Mother's Day present. Keep your mom alive, and we want our moms alive.
I agree.
So gentle parenting is an evidence-based approach to raising happy, confident children. This parenting style is composed of 4 main elements: empathy, respect, understanding, and boundaries.
Oh.
And focuses on fostering the qualities you want in your child by being compassionate and enforcing consistent boundaries.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. There's 4 main elements: empathy, respect, understanding, and boundaries. I feel like you definitely nailed empathy, respect, and understanding.
Right, but even boundaries.
Let's talk about boundaries for a second.
A number of my friends would go through their kids' stuff.
Right.
I never believed in that. I
You
believe
never believed in that, yet I'll never forget when I walked into my bedroom in high school and all the empty vodka bottles were laid out perfectly on the top of my dresser. And I know I hid those.
Yeah. Okay, that was more a question of cleaning out your closet.
Oh, cleaning out my closet.
It was. It wasn't snooping. If I'd find like a note or something like
Right.
that where my friends would open and read it, you know, and then put it back.
You never read our journals or anything like
I
that?
didn't, unless you asked me to.
Yeah.
You know, I think every individual needs a modicum of privacy.
Wow.
And without that, I don't think you grow healthy. And I don't think you respect other people's privacy.
So then
Eventually.
what is your advice then for this woman, this mom of, was it 4 or 5?
But she said it's a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
empathize. If there's trouble, you know, if I don't know what type of problem she's having, but try to make a game out of it that like incorporates more of the behavior that you would like to see.
I like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I got into a lot of trouble for this as you guys got older. You'd always say things like, if you did something, you'd go, "I didn't try," and I would always say, "You didn't try not to." And our punishment was, go sit in another room and think of ways that you could have done this better. And I think that's what you want to get to. You want to get to your child making their own decisions. Although that said, for not a good idea, probably. You don't want them making all their own decisions too young.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we just made a game out of everything. We distracted at that age. At 4, they're reasonably
know.
easy to distract.
Yeah, because it's like they do have these big emotions.
They do.
Like this morning, even, I was up at 5 with Alfie, who's 4, and he was just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like and I just kept saying, like, you're a good kid having a hard time. And every time you have a hard time, I'm going to be there for you.
Which is huge.
And I've really learned, I'm surprised at how patient I am with him. Not always. Like, there are times where I become dysregulated. It's really challenging.
But that happens to every parent. Absolutely.
It's like you just become a toddler yourself.
Yeah.
But it was like, oatmeal? And I'm like, okay. And then I make the oatmeal and then, and tries to throw it all over. And he's just distraught, but he can't tell me why because it's not verbal enough. So like, it's frustrating and it's sad. And I just say, I see that you're frustrated. You're frustrated. I see that.
Right.
I'm here for you. And then he kind of hears me and then mangoes. And so I'm like, okay, let's get some mangoes. That's a great idea. So I get the mangoes, I rip them up. He goes, and shoves the mangoes on the floor.
But way easier to clean up than oatmeal.
Right. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't want mangoes. I don't want mangoes. And so you say what you want him to model then. And he's just on the floor and he's crying. And again, I don't know why.
Right.
But all I can do is like, acknowledge his feelings and label it so he understands like, oh, I'm frustrated right now, or I'm mad, and it's okay to be mad.
Absolutely.
And it's okay, and I'm here if you need me. And that's it. And then you have to sort of walk away, or this is just what I do, like you let them know you're here.
Right.
You're seen, you're heard.
Yes.
I'll hug you, I'll hear you, whatever you want.
Right.
And if they don't want you, then it's like moving on and let them regulate.
Right.
And then in 2 seconds, he's playing on the keyboard, having a laugh attack, loving his life.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because he got validated.
Maybe.
I think validating somebody's emotions, because we're all human, we all have, emotions that sometimes get the better of us. And if you don't validate it, the child becomes more and more frustrated.
Yeah, and they feel ignored.
Yeah.
And it's not, my kid, I ignore them or I yell at them. And, that fear-based discipline, they never talk back or they never yell at me because they've shut the fuck down. That's why. They've shut down. They don't feel safe to express their emotions because they're scared of you.
Well, and what was the old saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child? I don't think so.
Wow.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's exactly what you want to be teaching your child. If you
don't want your child afraid of you.
Afraid of you or being willing to be violent.
Yeah.
Because you love your child. All children want love from their parents, no matter if their parents are good people or monsters. Mm-hmm. They still want love and they can justify almost any type of behavior.
Yeah.
Because my parent did that to me and I know my parent loved me and that's why. So it's
definitely
can have horrible
yet there's
consequences.
Agreed. I think too, what I'm learning as a parent is like there is no such thing as a perfect parent. And
God, no.
we try, and I think when, if I do become dysregulated and raise my voice because I'm so frustrated and it's 3 a.m. and I haven't slept.
Right.
And like, I just get dysregulated from time to time. Just being able to once express to your kid, mommy is having a hard time right now. Mommy
Yes.
will do better. Like, kind of owning up
Yeah.
to our mistakes rather than it's like, I'm the boss, I can yell at you or punish you or act out, and I never have to take accountability. I never have to
Have any type of justification. Do
Yeah.
that because I told you to.
because I told you to.
And I mean, truly, that was the way that we were raised.
Well, and you would like come to me the few times where you lost it with me. You came to me like the next day and you were like, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah.
did I emotionally damage you? And I was like, no, you didn't. Because I saw, even as a kid, a human being like having a moment.
Right. And you know what? I do think it has educational value.
Yeah.
And not if it's done continuously, like
Right.
on a daily basis, then
Yeah.
it becomes a neuroses
Or abuse.
or abuse, depending on,
Yeah.
on what it is. Even losing your temper all the time
Totally.
becomes
Totally.
a bad way to be.
Yes.
But you are giving them an example of a person who's loving and yet can be angry,
Yes.
just like they were angry.
Yes.
So it reinforces. It's all a part of,
Yeah,
learning.
it is.
I think that's what we do.
And we were given this big range of emotions. Why were we given by whatever it is that created us? However we're here, we were given this big range of emotions. We're not just given happiness and
Right.
no, we were given anger and frustration
Right.
and sadness, and so it
Yeah.
is natural to some degree.
Silliness. I love silliness.
Silliness, great one.
Yeah.
Great one. Solid one.
Yes. Yeah.
Love that.
And the more silly you are with,
It's
The
funny
kids
that
and-
like laughter is a thing.
oh, it's healing. Absolutely.
I know.
I think it's a wonderful thing.
It's just like a cute thing that humans do. They like laugh at stuff. Like I go like,
Yeah.
and then like Chris laughed.
Well,
Like, that's so cute that like
Yeah.
that, like all I have to do is go,
yeah. Well,
see, did you hear that?
most
Laughter,
females
that's cute.
don't tend
That's
to
cute.
do that. But that's
Because it's
something.
not cute. That's why.
No, right. Yeah. And most females, well, I can't even say most, some females are way more concerned about their physical appearance and would never make themselves look like that.
Yeah.
But I think you're lovely.
It's weird because I learned my like goofy faces and physical humor from my dad, who ironically didn't like that I was a clown. He did not like it. He's like, Laura, he would say to me like, stop, do drama. Like,
Yes.
you do not need to be doing that with your face. You're beautiful. Use that. Like, what are you doing? Like, he very much did not want me to do comedy. Didn't like when I did it. Wouldn't even watch my comedy.
And I loved it.
Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, he was convinced, you were going to be the next Marilyn Monroe or whoever, because you are
'Cause
stunningly
I'm so
beautiful.
curvy and stuff. Because of my
Pardon me?
big boobs and stuff. That's why. Because I'm so curvy like Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, it didn't matter
No, I
who.
know. I was just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go.
Doesn't matter who. But
Definitely
he was.
more Carol Burnett. If we're going to go there, it's definitely more Carol Burnett, maybe Lucille Ball.
Absolutely. And you know what? That was fine with me.
But he wanted
Well, he's male, hetero
Like-
male.
boomer too. Like different generation,
Yeah,
Different generation.
yeah.
But he gave me issues around men. Like I still don't, still have that I need to get rid of that idea that like women should not be goofy and funny. They should be beautiful. And that's still in me. I don't let it run my life clearly.
Clearly.
But I'm just saying his influence did make a difference. But whatever, I'm not gonna define myself from the stories of my past, but rather for a vision of my future.
Oh my.
That's how I'm going
And
to.
she's funny and philosophical.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to
Amazing.
define myself. We can either define ourselves from the stories of the past or a vision of the future. It's your choice. And what are you going to choose today? Stop. Okay.
Makes decisions feel much more dangerous when you say it like that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, next question. Everyone's just asking when you're moving to California. Not really many great ones. What's your favorite thing about being a grandma?
Oh,
Let me guess, the grandkids?
yeah, definitely. And I love that they're all different, you know, kind of unique,
That is
quirky.
cool. That is
I love
cool.
the quirkiness, you know.
Yeah.
I love seeing that repeated because my children were all so different from each other.
That is wild.
It is.
How different.
And you, physically as well. I mean, as far as, you know, when you guys were little, you were blonde, Colleen was auburn, and Tracy had almost black hair, brown black.
Yeah.
You know, and it looked like, how did this happen?
But our personalities too.
And your
Wow.
personalities were night and day from each other.
Yeah. Is it cool seeing like Colleen, who's my middle sister, seeing her kids and how similar they are to Colleen, or like Poppy and I are?
Not only looks, but personality,
Personality, definitely.
which is amazing.
Is that wild to see? Like, does it trip you out a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Does it trip you out?
It does. Well, because
Do you think it's banging?
banging. Yeah, that was bizarre. No, I
Do you get like flashbacks of me when I was that age? Like, does
Oh,
it
my goodness,
make you
yes.
go like, whoa,
yes, last night,
that's cool.
where she ate her dinner, then proceeded to hit on Alfie's dinner,
Yes.
and then was asking for thing after thing after
Yes.
thing. You ate like that. You ate virtually anything and everything.
Yeah.
You know, which you wanted artichoke hearts for your like 4th birthday dinner.
Yeah.
It's like, really? We going there?
Sophisticated palate
Yeah, that was it.
with a little goat's milk on the side.
Yeah, no. But most people say, you know, personalities are kind of set by the time you're 5-ish.
Yeah. That's cool. But it's crazy because Poppy, I see how similar. She's very social. She goes up to everyone, wants to talk to them.
Yes.
And eat a shit ton of food. And she's just very funny too.
And
she's like, funny gal, funny gal.
She does say that all the time. And she's also very giving.
Oh my God.
And you always were too. You were always the first one to share.
Yeah.
And people that were like half of your size could bully you.
Yes. that's
Because
true.
you were just absolutely non-violent, non-confrontational. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And I see that in Poppy too.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
she
she
just
gets-
gives you, she'll be hungry and go, cracker cheese. And then she'll take the cracker cheese and give you the first piece. Like
Right.
she just always wants to give,
She does.
share
She does.
just everything. It's really
Yeah.
sweet. And that's just, I didn't necessarily teach that. That's just in her. She's
It
just
is.
generous and she wants to give you things to make you happy. And
Right.
she's just giving.
And we'll share.
And then
like-
there's Alfie, who's just taking.
Yeah.
Just taking, which is also very normal, and like also very normal.
Are we doing male and female again here?
I don't know. It could be like a spectrum thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just he's a unique
He
kiddo
is.
and so special, and so
And I adore him.
yeah. And his personality, there's a lot of similarities to Steven. Steven wasn't very social as a kid, you know, and would have special interests and become obsessed around his favorite things. And that served him really well in life. He was obsessed with music and he made a career out of it. You know, Alfie, you know, loves music too as well, and making beats, loves the piano. And he also like watches the same movie every night. I know someone else who did that. My dad watched Pulp Fiction every night for 2 years.
He did. It was,
Every night for 2 years.
and he would say, "Do you want to watch Pulp Fiction with me?" It's like, No.
That's autistic. Dad, it's autistic.
You tell him.
I've told him. He just doesn't remember because dementia.
Yeah.
I have to tell him every day.
There is something to be said for, Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
You just don't remember. We can be in a huge row, and 20 minutes later, he has no idea that we disagreed about anything.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it's a lovely thing.
I mean, I have to say, like, since he has been diagnosed with that, I find he's more gentle. I know there is the anger stuff, too. I have not seen that.
Aggression.
The aggression, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, and I know it's a part of the disease.
Well, you live 3,000 miles away.
I know. 3,000.
Isn't it about 3,000? How
Is
far
it 3,000?
I don't know. How far away do we live?
Chris, how far away is Chicago from Los Angeles? We're just
Yeah.
gonna wait. No.
We need to know.
But so, wait. So okay. So
You live far away.
the aggression I have not seen, but like in my conversations with him, there's a gentleness there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yes, I do. But do you find that, like, you'll tell him something in the beginning, or he'll tell you something in the beginning, and then he'll end up telling it over?
2,000 miles. Close.
2,000.
Very
Okay.
Good. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So that kind
His
of stuff.
short-term memory is shot.
Yes. Yeah. We play a lot of card games. We always play, when we play backgammon, we play Yahtzee, and it's good for his brain.
Yes.
All of that stuff is good for his brain. Although he does keep trying to get me to add all of his numbers in Yahtzee. It's like, no, you can do it. But you're faster. It's like, no.
No, use your brain.
Use your brain. It's good for you.
Yeah.
But within that period of time, he'll ask me, oh, so what are we thinking about for dinner? And I'll say, baked potatoes and broccoli. And then 10 minutes later, he'll say, have we talked about dinner yet?
Yeah.
Baked potatoes and broccoli. And then he'll do it again. So there's just no retention. But it works well for arguments.
It works well for arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no idea that he was mad 20 minutes ago.
Wow. Wow.
We'll just have to see how all of this progresses.
I know. But I think staying in today
Yeah,
is kind of a lifesaver, or else it can get
absolutely.
scary.
Well, yeah. But I think you also have to keep an eye on the future, too. If there's something that he could take that would actually slow down the process.
Yes, 100%. But
He
he's
should-
finally agreed to do,
The brain scan.
yeah?
Yes.
Does he remember that
Day
he
after
agreed?
well, probably not now because I've been gone for 3 days.
So you have to remind him of that. Can you video him agreeing and be like, look, you've agreed?
I asked him to sign it in blood, but he wouldn't.
Well, that's extreme.
I know. But it seemed like, remember that whole, well, you kids probably, Blood Brothers, where you'd both cut
Yes, yes.
and then let your blood mingle, and
Yeah.
that was it. It was for life. It was good. Not really good, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And there'd always be that psycho kid that would like make a big cut. It's like, okay, I'm using a pin on my finger.
Jeez.
No big cuts.
Life is really insane.
It is.
It's ever changing. Because you get so stuck and you think like, oh, this is my life. Like, this is how it's going to be. And then dad gets diagnosed and I am separated
Right.
and everything is changing. And you look at last year and go, what is that life?
Right. Who could have predicted this?
Do you find that you are more, I don't know how to phrase this, but does it faze you less that life is ever changing, or are you continuously like, oh, now we're here?
No.
Like, how do you feel about it?
I'm very accepting of change.
Accepting of change.
Yeah. I think you have to be. If not, you're going to have a miserable life.
Right, like parents dying, like
Right.
that for you.
Which
was,
is really hard.
yeah,
One of them was really hard. But
one of them was really hard.
yeah. But it's also a part of life,
Right,
And I think you have to accept that.
right.
Otherwise, it makes you crazy.
I know, radical acceptance. That's been my big thing that I talk about all the time. It's annoying, probably how much I talk about it, but it's been the thing that's helped me the most.
Yeah.
Radical acceptance, accepting your life exactly as it is in this moment. It's the resistance to the reality of what is that causes suffering. Or maybe one of the things.
Yeah.
Resisting the reality of what is in this moment doesn't mean you have to like just accept a shit life or stay in an abusive relationship or
Right.
whatever. It's just accepting it in this moment and then making the decision to change or
Right.
take the steps you need, having that courage to change the things you can.
And I think that's the most important thing,
Really.
is being willing to change, being willing to look at your situation in a realistic way and say, is this in
Yeah.
the long run hurting me or helping me?
Totally.
And if it's hurting you,
Yeah.
then you've got to change.
Have that courage.
Yeah.
That's why my favorite prayer will always be the Serenity Prayer.
Yeah.
God, grant me this serenity to accept the things I cannot change, find the courage to change the things I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
It just never gets old.
No, it doesn't. And it rings so true.
Okay, I can't change this, so let me practice accepting.
Right.
Even if it's not what I wanted, it is what it is. And then
Well, how
have the
do I
courage-
live with this?
yeah,
How can I constructively live with this thing that's happening in my life
that I have no control over.
that I have no control over?
And then, yeah, exactly. Have the courage to change the things we can.
Right.
And
Because
the
otherwise you're
wisdom to know the difference.
banging your head against the wall.
Totally.
Not that I haven't told you to do that, but
To
only
ba-
once.
Well, we won't get into that.
No.
I don't want to get canceled today. I do not want to get canceled.
It was in a comedy routine, though. Just,
We're not
you know,
going into that, Mom.
No, we don't
It was
have
a
to go
different
into that.
time.
Never, you know.
Do not.
Yeah, no.
I'm just looking up. Oh, God. No, I'm not reading that one.
See, and aren't you instantly curious when she says, not reading that one? And I don't want you to
How do you
read
feel
it.
about Stephen? We're not getting into that.
No, of course not.
Your daughter's a lesbo, still my fave question. Okay, we'll end on this. What is the meaning of life? Simple.
Oh, yeah. That, one of those little small questions that you can just answer.
Do you know what would be fun though?
Off the
While
top of
you're
your
thinking
head.
of what the meaning of life is, I'm gonna go ahead and Google it. Because I wonder if I'll Google it and the very first thing that comes up, what if that's it? What is the meaning of life? The meaning of life, or the answer to the question, what is the meaning of life, pertains to the significance of living or existing in general. Many other related and question. Okay, that doesn't answer it.
No, it doesn't. But I don't think that there is.
What is the true meaning of life? Experiencing reality by interacting authentically with the environment and with others. Giving something back to the world through creativity and self-expression, and changing our attitude when faced with a situation or circumstance that we cannot change.
So it's the serenity prayer is the meaning to life.
Wow. On top of that, experiencing reality by interacting authentically with the environment and with others, giving something back to the world through creativity and self-expression, and changing our attitude. I think that's, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Chris just sent me from AI. He just asked AI, right? Is that how you say it? Okay. My AI says, the meaning of life is different for everyone, but for me, it's all about enjoying the journey and making the most of every moment. What do you think? I honestly prefer Google's answer to this.
I do too. I think that one is oversimplistic.
Totally. Do you have anything to add to the meaning of life?
No, other than try to find something that you love to do. I know we're all not lucky enough to do it, but find someplace in your life where you can feel love every single day.
Yeah.
Even if you hate your job or whatever. You may hate your job, but there might be wonderful people there. Mm-hmm. You know, so
Yeah.
try to find the good
I love that.
in what you can do and truly, and express your love. Don't let it go unexpressed.
Ooh, I love
Let
that.
people know.
Wow.
It's-
Express your love.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Well, you do that. You say I love you about 16,000 times a day. So you definitely express your love.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, that could be true.
I love you is what you say to my kids all the time.
I do.
I love you.
I do. And that's just the way I say it.
And on that note, I love you. And we're all done here. We did it. Another episode.
Woohoo.
Will you want to come back next month?
Sure.
I'd love to have you.
Okay.